At Siesta Musika every Saturday from 2 to 4 in the afternoon dito sa inyong nag-iisang himpilan, Cool FM. Mapapa-cool ka dito!
Lahat ng drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. #1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM! It's koolNews Early Edition.
All right, everyone. Good morning, everyone. And this is our continued coverage of Super Typhoon Karina as we speak. So, again, good morning to y'all, and welcome to Cool News Early Edition. So, yes, today is July 25, 2024, and as usual, we will be monitoring our weather situation as we speak here. So, yes, let's check the weather right now. So, let's get to that right now. So, let's go to Inquire website. Okay, so all right, let's see. Let's check the live updates of Typhoon Karina because right now in our area it still looks cloudy. Okay, so let's check the updates. Okay, so Karina has been weakened now, so that's a good thing. So this is as of 11:24 p.m. So far, so good here. So far, so good here, guys. Karina has been weakened, so it has been reclassified as a typhoon category, but it is still expected to intensify the southwest monsoon or Habagard. And looking at the updates from midnight, right, the Marikina River alert level has been upgraded to the second alarm as of 11:50 p.m. So it looks like it's getting better now, at least. So yeah, if we take a look here, this is well, we'll just that one out there here. Okay, so a second. Okay, so there you go. And if we look at the live updates from yesterday, of course the House has decided to suspend the class. I'm not sorry. It has continued to decide in suspending the work for today, which is July 25, due to the bad weather. So the House of Representatives has suspended work for Thursday, July 25, 2024 due to bad weather brought by Typhoon Karina and the southwest monsoon. A memorandum from House Secretary General Reginald Velasco on Wednesday night said that work remains suspended as Metro Manila has been placed under a state of calamity. The entire Metro Manila has been placed under a state of calamity due to the flooding and continuous rains caused by Typhoon Karina. In view of this, the work of the House of Representatives shall remain suspended on July 25, 2024, Velasco said in the memo. However, offices with essential functions shall ensure that all services shall remain unimpeded. The House leadership shall continue to take measures to safeguard the welfare of our employees, he added. Work at the House and the Senate was suspended on Wednesday due to strong winds and flooding across different Metro Manila roads. Prior to this, the House suspended its session on Tuesday, so brought by the inclement weather. Earlier, the government announced that classes at all levels and work in government offices in Metro Manila and nearby regions of Central Luzon and in Calabarzon due to the extreme weather. So that's the headline there. Okay. Okay, we'll get into the yesterday's headlines for now. So, in case you missed it, around 600 passengers bound for Manila were stranded at the Daniel Z. Romeo Aldez DZR Airport here on Tuesday, July 24. Lady Lourdes Fatima, Information Officer of the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines in Eastern Visayas, CAAP-8, said the flights to Manila were disrupted due to Typhoon Karina. 4 Cebu Pacific flights and 2 AirAsia flights were affected by the adverse weather conditions. All the affected flights were scheduled today, July 24th, and we are not yet sure if they will be flights tomorrow, Fatima said. She advised the affected passengers to contact the respective airlines regarding rebooking or refunds. The United States, Australian, Chinese, and Canadian embassies in Manila have offered assistance as the enhanced southwest monsoon and Super Typhoon Karina pummel several parts of the Philippines, including Metro Manila. In a statement on Wednesday, U.S. Ambassador Mary Kay Clarkson said coordination between the embassy and the Philippine government is continuous. My thoughts and prayers are all with all friends, partners, allies affected by the flooding and other severe effects caused by Super Typhoon Karina. The U.S. Embassy team is working closely with Philippine government agencies and is already providing assistance, she said in a post on X. The U.S. government has so far provided 700 emergency shelters in Maguindanao del Sur and the Bangsamoro region. Since July 21, through the U.S. Agency for International Development and the International Organization for Migration (IOM) in coordination with local authorities. We continue to coordinate closely with local partners to discuss additional ways for the United States to provide assistance to affected families. U.S. Embassy spokesperson Kanishka Gango Baghai said. Australia Ambassador HKU said Canberra is also prepared to respond if requested by the Philippines. Australia offers its empathies to communities affected by Typhoon Karina. The embassy continues to monitor the situation and is keeping contact with Philippine government and partners. Australia is prepared to respond to if requested, she posted on X. In separate posts, Chinese Ambassador Huang Ziliang and Canadian Ambassador David Hartman conveyed readiness to extend assistance. My heart is with all our Filipino friends affected by Typhoon Karina. Our sincere sympathy goes to those who have lost their loved ones in the floods. Stand ready to provide hope and get through this trying time together, Wang said. Parliament, for his part, said the Embassy of Canada expresses its concern and sympathies to those individuals and communities impacted by Typhoon Karina. We are closely monitoring the situation and stand ready to support as needed. Japanese Ambassador Kazuya Ando and European Union Ambassador Luc Baron meanwhile sent their thoughts to the families affected. Our hearts go to everyone affected by Super Typhoon Karina. To the families who have lost loved ones and those enduring hardships, our thoughts are with you. Let us hold on together in these tough times and stay safe. Ando said. A total of 183,464 families, or 882,861 persons, have been affected by as joint rains and floods struck Ilos region, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Mindanao, Central Visayas, Zamboanga Peninsula, Northern Mindanao, Davao, Sorsogon, Cara, and the Bangsamoro region. As of this posting, a total of 8 dead, 2 injured, and 1 missing person were reported by the National Disaster Risk Protection and Management Council. A 24-year-old mother and her 5-year-old daughter died after they were trapped inside their house that was buried by a landslide in Pampang village in Angeles City on Wednesday, July 24. In the statement, the Angeles City police said the incident happened at Purok 5B Riverside at the back of the city village of Angeles along the Magpagan River. It said the father was able to survive. The 3 victims were successfully retrieved and transported to the nearest hospital, which is Rafael Lasadin Memorial Medical Center for medical treatment. However, 2 of the victims, mother and child, were declared dead on arrival by attending the physician Dr. Kristan Luxon, while the father who survived the said incident was treated at the said hospital, it said. A police report obtained by the inquiry showed that the landslide occurred at around 7:20 a.m. Upon receiving the landslide report, the city police, firefighters, and disaster response personnel went to the site and jointly conducted a rescue and retrieval operation. The victims were pulled from the mud at 9:15 a.m. and rushed to the city hospital. The mother and her daughter were declared dead, while the 23-year-old father survived and was confined at the hospital. Central Luzon Police Director Brigadier General Jose Hidalgo Jr. said some 2027 2027 families composed of 7,633 individuals are temporarily sheltered at 26 evacuation centers region-wide, particularly in Bataan, Bulacan, and Olongapo City. He said 101 villages in Bataan, 131 in Bulacan, 8 in Olongapo City, 68 in Pampanga, and 1 in Zambales are flooded, while 14 roads in Bulacan, 3 in Pampanga, and 29 in Olongapo City are impassable to vehicles. In Angeles City, Police Director Amado Mendoza Jr. said 39 families composed of 139 individuals living along the Abacan River have been evacuated. We will continue our recap headlines from yesterday regarding the Typhoon Karina as we will return here, along with the latest weather bulletin from Casa, which we will get into that after we return from the commercial break. So, guys, stick around here. We will continue our coverage. It is now 40 minutes of 6, and we will be right back.
Magandang umaga, narito na po ang latest sa binabantayan natin na si Bagyong Karina as of 5 p.m. ngayong araw ng Thursday. So unahin po muna natin ang ating latest satellite image. Yung sentro nitong si Bagyong Karina ay naglandfall kakagabi ng alas 12 and yung current location niya ay nasa Taiwan, currently located as of 4 a.m. sa 465 kilometers hilaga ng Itbayat, Batanes. Bahagyang humina po ito, nagtataglay ng lakas ng hangin na umaabot ng 150 kilometers per hour malapit sa gitna at pagbugso naman na umaabot ng 250 kilometers per hour. Patuloy pa rin po itong kumikilos pahilaga sa bilis na 20 kilometers per hour. Kung makikita po natin, malaking bahagi pa rin po ng Luzon ay posibleng makaranas or asahan pa rin po natin magpapatuloy yung maulan na panahon sa malaking bahagi ng Luzon, lalong-lalo na dito po sa may western sections ng northern at central Luzon, pati na rin sa may western sections ng Calabarzon and sa may Mindoro provinces, pati na rin sa NCR. Kaya ingat pa rin po sa ating mga kabayan, lalong-lalo na dito sa may kanlurang bahagi po ng Luzon area. Ito po yung ating latest forecast track as of 5 a.m. Base po sa ating latest forecast track, gaya po ng nabanggit natin kanina, yung sentro nitong si Bagyong Karina ay nasa may Taiwan na. Pero nakikita po natin, although yung sentro ay nasa may Taiwan, ay malaki pa rin yung sakop na malalakas na hangin na dala nitong si Bagyong Karina. Kaya ilang bahagi po sa extreme northern Luzon ay apektado pa rin ng malalakas na hangin na dala nitong binabantayan na bagyo. Over the next few days or possible for the next few hours, unti-unti po itong kikilos papalayo sa direksyong northwestward. Possible po na ngayong umaga ay lumabas po ito ng ating Philippine Area of Responsibility. Babaybay po dito sa may karagatan, sa may Taiwan Strait, at possible landfall ulit sa may southern portion ng Taiwan at unti-unti na po siyang hihina sa mga susunod na araw. At papansin po natin, possible po na habang humihina po ito ay hihina na din po yung paghila niya dito sa habagat. Kaya over the next few days ay possible po na hihina na din yung mga pag-ulan or mga areas na apektado ng mga pag-ulan dala ng epekto ng hanging habagat. Gaya po ng nabanggit natin kanina, dahil may kalawakan pa rin yung radius nitong si Bagyong Karina, kahit yung sentro niya ay nasa may Taiwan, nakataas pa rin yung tropical cyclone wind signal number 1 dito sa Batanes dahil sa lawak ng radius ng bagyo. So asahan pa rin po natin ang malalakas na hangin na dala nitong si Bagyong Karina sa area po ng Batanes. Pagdating naman po sa mga pagulan, ito po yung latest heavy rainfall warnings po natin galing po sa Northern Luzon PRSD, pati na rin sa NCR PRSD as of 5 a.m. Naka-red rainfall warning pa rin po tayo dito sa Ilocos Sur, Benguet, La Union, Pangasinan at Ilocos Norte. Orange naman po ay nakataas pa rin sa western portion ng Abra, Zambales, Bataan, Pampanga at Tarlac, at yellow warning naman po tayo sa eastern portion ng Abra, dito po sa Metro Manila, pati na rin sa Nueva Ecija at Bulacan. Kaya po sa ating mga kababayan sa mga nabanggit na lugar or yung po kung saan nakataas ang heavy rainfall warnings, asahan po natin at the very least for the next 3 hours ay magpapatuloy pa rin yung moderate to ng mga pag-ulan, lalong-lalo na sa areas nakataas yung red rainfall warning. So asahan po natin na mataas na posibilidad ng mga pagbaha, lalong-lalo na sa mga yung low-lying areas, pinaghahanda at pinag-iingat po yung ating mga kababayan. Samantalang based naman po sa ating latest weather advisory kahagabi po ng alas 11, asahan pa rin po natin yung mga posibilidad na makakaranas pa rin ng malalakas mga pag-ulan, lalong-lalo ng Luzon or northern Central Luzon area. So moderate or heavy to intense rains pa rin inaasahan ngayong araw sa Zambales, La Union, Pangasinan at Benguet. Samantalang moderate to heavy naman sa Metro Manila, Bulacan, Pampanga, Cavite, Batanes, Babuyan Islands, nalalabing bahagi ng Ilocos Region, Abra, Bataan at Occidental Mindoro. At kung mapapansin po natin, over this coming weekend, unti-unti na pong nababawasan yung areas na makaka-experience ng malalakas na mapagbuhos ng ulan. So moderate to heavy naman po mga pag-ulan, possible pa rin sa may Zambales, Bataan, Pangasinan at Benguet bukas. Pagdating naman po ng weekend or sa darating na Sabado, Zambales at Bataan, posible pa rin po yung mga moderate to heavy na mga pag-ulan. So asahan pa rin po or possible pa rin po yung mga pagbaha o pagguho ng lupa, lalong-lalo na ilang araw na po tayo nakakaranas ng mga pag-ulan sa mga affected areas. Kaya as much as possible po paghandaan at pinag-iingat po yung ating mga kabayan. Pagdating naman po sa mga pagbugso na hangin na dala nitong hanging habagat ay malaking areas pa rin po ng Luzon, pati rin sa may western sections ng Visayas. Asahan pa rin po natin yung mga pagbugso ng hangin mula ngayon hanggang bukas. Samantalang pagdating naman po ng Saturday ay mostly areas po ng northern Luzon, dito po sa may western sections ng Central Luzon, pati na rin sa may western sections ng Mimaropa. Yun po yung areas na makakaranas pa rin or possible na makaranas ng mga malalakas na hangin na dala nitong southwest monsoon. Sa kalagayan po ng ating karagatan, may gale warning po tayo dahil sa epekto nitong southwest monsoon. Nakataas ang, or possible po yung 4.5 meters na taas na mga pag-alon sa areas po or sa mga baybayin ng Batanes, sa karagatan po ng northern coast ng Cagayan kasama ang Babuyan Islands, pataran dito sa may western section or western seaboards ng northern Luzon dyan po sa Ilocos Norte at Ilocos Sur. Kaya delikado pong pumalaot, lalong-lalo na yung may mga maliit na sakyang pandagat sa mga nasabing baybayin. Samantalang moderate to rough seas or katamtaman hanggang sa maalon na karagatan ang posible dito sa may western section ng Luzon, gayon din sa eastern section ng northern Luzon. Samantalang sa eastern section naman ng bansa ay mostly moderate or katamtaman na mapag-alon naranasan. Iba yung pag-iingat po sa mga plano pumalaot, delikado pong pumalaot sa mga moderate to rough na mga karagatan. Yan po muna ang latest mula dito sa Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Ako po si Rhea Torres. Magandang umaga. Ingat po tayong lahat.
All right, people. That has been the weather bulletin from Pagasa. Once again, we you now know what to expect. You now know what to expect. What areas will be affected by the typhoon. And yeah. So again, people, stay safe, everyone out there. Again, just stay safe out there, everyone. Okay, let's continue with the headlines from excuse me, from previously. Let me check inquiry right now. Okay. Give me a second, guys. Okay. All right. All right. We will be covering these headlines too. Chinese ambassador to the Philippines, Huang Xilan, on Wednesday extended his regards to those affected by Silver Typhoon Karina. My heart is with all our Filipino friends affected by Typhoon Karina. Our sincere sympathy goes to those who have lost their loved ones in the floods, said Huang in a post on Facebook. Stand ready to provide hope and get through this trying time together. Stay safe, he added. While it did not make landfall in the country, Karina stunning the effects of the southwest monsoon, leaving many parts of the country, including Metro Manila, flooded by rain since Tuesday. In Metro Manila alone, several major throughways were left impassable. The National Capital Region was also put under a state of calamity amid the rain and floods. Latest figures of the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council show that at least 12 people have been killed by Karina and Habagat, with 600,000 people more displaced, including 25,000 who went to emergency shelters. Some 23 families composed of 19 individuals along riverbanks were evacuated to safer grounds in nearby Angeles City on Wednesday. In a statement, the Angeles City government said the families were rescued from their residence along the Apacan River in Alunas, Malabañas, and Pampang villages that could be affected by rising currents due to the incessant rains. They were brought to the city's main evacuation center in Mining Village. Angeles City Mayor Carmelo Lazadin Jr. personally inspected the condition of the evacuees and assigned medical doctors to check on the evacuees. Lazadin has instructed Angeles City Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office Chief Rudy Simon to monitor and check the conditions of the evacuees and the upland residents of the city. On Tuesday night, Simon told the Inquirer that they rescued two families and or 8 persons in Magod village. Two of their houses at Bulatol Riverside in Magod collapsed due to heavy rain. We immediately evacuated them to a temporary shelter at Magod Daycare Center, he said. The Ipo and Butos dams in this province, which is the city of Malolos, Bulacan, Philippines, have released 1,055 cubic meters cubic meters of water due to heavy rains brought by the southwest monsoon and Typhoon Karina, resulting in floodwaters reaching 6 foot deep in low-lying areas. Josephine Baltazar, National Luzon Director of the National Irrigation Administration, said 595 cubic meters of water were released from Botos Dam at 1:30 p.m. after its water level reached 17,000. I'm sorry, not 17,000, but 17.35 meters, surpassing its spilling level of 17 meters. This followed the release of 460.36 centimeter from centimeter from Ipo Dam at 1 p.m., which saw its elevation rise from the spilling level of 101 meters to 102.80 meters. Consequently, a 3.2 kilometer portion of the northbound lane, a 2.5 kilometer section of the southbound lane, and an additional 2 kilometers of the northbound lane of the North Luzon Expressway and Lex in May Guyan remain impassable to all types of vehicles, stranding motorists. NLEX personnel are continuing water pumping operations according to the latest advisory from the company at 1:20 p.m. The Bulacan Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office reported that the Mag-Occur Highway in Maycuyugayan, Marilao, and Balactas, as well as major roads in Obanto, Bulacan, and Hangnoy are also not passable to all vehicles. Meanwhile, in Calupit Town, floodwaters reach up to 6 foot in Barangay Maysulo, adjacent to Pampanga Province. Barangay San Miguel, Gatbuka, and Gugo are submerged in 5 feet of water, while Sampang Bayan and Santa Lucia are under 4 feet of water. Barangay Ilang Ilang in Guiguinto is also experiencing 4 feet of floodwaters. A total of 1,466 residents from 691 families in 15 barangays across 9 towns and cities, including Maycuyugayan, Malolos, Ampong, Agunoy, Pulilan, Kalumpit, Bulacan, and Balagtax have been evacuated since Tuesday. The water in Angat Dam rose to 178.52 meters above sea level from 177.55 meters above sea level on Tuesday. Okay, let's see if we're gonna check our live uh updates right now. We will get into the morning headlines later at the 7 a.m. hour, since here we will be covering, for this hour, we will be covering the Typhoon Karina related stories. All right, let's check the X right now and monitor how is the let's check the X real quick. So far, so far we are not getting any new updates. Let me just check with the latest one in case, just in case. Okay, just most of them are just reposts of the thing. Yeah. So yeah, we will continue our we will in the meantime we will be done with the Karina coverage, since the typhoon here has been reclassified back to typhoon now. So always a good thing. That's a good thing. But yeah, we will be getting into the usual morning recap headlines that were covered yesterday, not related to the weather. But in the meantime, it is now uh, 22 minutes before 7, which is 7 a.m. hour of before 7 a.m. hour of koolNews early edition. Okay, so we'll just double check our sources here real quick. Okay. Yeah, so far there's none. Okay, that's there's none for so far. All right, now we will be moving on to regular morning headlines when we return after this break. So it is now 20 minutes before 7, and we will be right back. to Cool News Early Edition. Okay, so it is now 6:48, and we will continue with now regular headlines that you have might have missed from yesterday. And if there are any updates with the weather, which is currently dark right now in our area, we will be continuing our Carina coverage later. But for now, let's get into the regular morning headlines. Okay, here we go. Senator Robin Hood Padilla has formally assumed the presidency of the Partido Democrático Filipino, replacing Palawan Representative Joseph Chavez Alvarez, who resigned from the position. Earlier, Padilla said he would accept the post only if I see that I could do good things and I can help my fellow Filipinos. Excuse me. In a previous interview, he said he would implement new policies in the party once he took over its leadership. As the new PDP president, Senator Padilla will continue to consolidate the party membership and prepare for the 2025 midterm elections, which Representative Alvarez started. The senator's office said, quoting a PNP statement. We are confident that under Senator Padilla's leadership, the party is in good hands and will continue to be a major force for reform and development in the country, it added. Former President Rodrigo Duterte ran for president in 2016 under the PDB Laban, as the party used to be known. In April, party leaders led by Duterte implemented changes in the party, including its name. Green hydrogen, considered a clean source of energy since it is derived using a process powered by renewable sources like wind or sunlight, may soon gain more than just foothold, but transforming but a transformative presence in the lives of Mindanao. The French company Hydrogenet de France Energy is taking big steps to spread the technology to the region, starting in Alutanga Island in Zamboanga, Sibugay, and later in the provinces of Surigao del Norte and Agusan del Sur and Zamboanga City. The long-term goal is to set up a total of 10 power plants in Mindanao and accelerate the region's shift to renewables until they account for 50% of its energy mix by 2030. Matthew Getze, President and Director of HDI Energy Philippines, said the company would put up either solar or wind power farms on site both to run the electrocyters, electrocyclers, and directly supply power to the local grid. On July 19, Getze and local government representatives on Zamboanga, Sibugay, Surigao del Norte, Agusan del Sur, and Zamboanga City signed a memorandum of cooperation to facilitate coordination, information sharing, and technical studies leading to the setup of hydrogen power plants in the target areas. Also present to witness the signing were Mindanao Development Authority, MINDA, Secretary Leodareso Magno, and French Ambassador to the Philippines, Marie Fontanel. According to Gesse, the initial projects are part of the 10 hydrogen power plants that HDF plans to put up in Mindanao in the coming years at an aggregate investment cost of roughly $1 billion. Most of these projects will be located in hard-to-reach, off-grid communities or in towns and provinces with unstable power supply, Gibson said at a media briefing after the signing. Local officials welcomed the HDF energy projects, expecting to reduce energy costs and address intermittent brownouts and unstable power supplies in their areas. In Surigao del Norte, for instance, people have been endorsing unstable power supply and high electricity bills for the longest time, according to Reyes Pate Recalpo, the professional administrator. It is imperative to improve the power situation, especially in the Surigao Islands, the province primary forest destination, Recalpo said. That's why we welcome the project because once operational, it might help bring down power rates in our province. Tricia Goloran, head of the Planning and Development Office of Agusan del Sur, said having a stable power supply was just an as urgent in her province. Raul Gondola, chair and administrator of the Zamboanga Economic Zone Authority, also said having a hydrogen power plant in Zamboanga City would also address the intermittent brownouts that occur 4 to 5 times a day, even inside its 16,000 hectare special economic zone, which currently has 114 locators. Once the plants are operational, ADF Energy will produce about 10 megawatts of hydrogen power for each site. Also at the MOC signing, Ambassador Fontanelle said addressing climate change and boosting the transition to a green and sustainable future are high on the French government's development agenda for international partners like the Philippines. France relies on expert companies like HDF Energy to fulfill this commitment, she said. She said she was most impressed by HDF's commitment to reach areas in Mindanao where the power situation must be addressed. Okay, it is now raining. I can hear the raining now. So far, because not that many foreign companies to look at Mindanao for many reasons, security among them, HDF has decided precisely to look at those territories where there is a real need. I'm really impressed by the work already done by HDF, Fontanelle added. Mindanao Secretary McNo hailed the newly signed MOC as an achievement for the entire region. Assistant Secretary Romel Montenegro, the Deputy Executive Director of MINDA, said the additional supply coming from HDF would help the regional government body meet its target of achieving a 50-50 renewable to fossil fuel energy ratio by 2030. Gibson said HDF was currently in the process of securing the necessary government permits and negotiating with local cooperatives for eventual power distribution in the 3 provinces. He said key to the project's success would be the willingness of stakeholders, including the local government units, to provide the necessary support, like the identification and clearing of the land where the plants may be built. In February this year, the Department of Energy issued guidelines for hydrogen investment incentives in the country to promote sustainable energy solutions and reduce dependence on traditional fossil fuels. According to DOE Circular number 2024-01-0001, stakeholders engaged in hydrogen production, distribution, research and development infrastructure establishment, and the operation of hydrogen fuel stations for the transport sector will enjoy various perks and incentives from the government, such as tax exemptions. Philippine Navy Flag Officer and Command Vice Admiral Toribio Adasi Jr. and United States Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Lisa French Chatty will meet in Manila on July 26 to enhance future partnerships between their countries in the face of growing regional tensions over Beijing's aggression in the South China Sea. The 2 naval leaders are to discuss a host of topics, including maritime security, joint exercises, maritime domain awareness, and future partnership opportunities for both navies with the aim of strengthening U.S. Navy, Philippine Navy ties, and enhancing capacity development and interoperability. Commander John Pelosi also Philippine Navy spokesperson said in a statement on Wednesday. The meeting will be held ahead of the 2+2 meeting in Manila between the two countries' defense and foreign affairs officials on July 30. The Philippine Navy, according to UNCLOS, remains grateful for the U.S. Navy's continuous support and cooperation through high-level interactions to develop greater understanding and information sharing between the two forces. Last month, the navies of the Philippines, US, Japan, and Canada held joint patrols in the South China Sea as part of the multilateral maritime cooperative activity amid Beijing's harassment of Philippine ships in the strategic waterway. Typhoon Karina weakened further as of Thursday morning as it exits the Philippine area of responsibility, according to state meteorologists. Since we already covered the weather bulletin earlier ago, well, we were not going to show it again, but we can now say that the Karina is well gone now, I have to say, but we are still expecting rainfalls in Metro Manila, which we are already experiencing right now. Okay, people, it is exactly 7, and now we will get ready for our 7 a.m. hour of koolNews early edition. Okay, it is exactly 7.
This is koolNews Early Edition.
All right, well, a fellow good morning to everyone, and and if you have just joined us for your morning headlines, well, welcome aboard to koolNews Early Edition. We will also be recapping the headlines from yesterday, including the Typhoon Karina, in case you missed it. So now let's get into it. Also, I might have to get the breakfast ready. Just give me a second. But I'll be back shortly. Okay, give me a second. All right, I'm back. Now let's continue with the headlines. I will be outside while I'm going to read the news because I'm really going to start preparing for breakfast. Sorry for that. Okay, so now just okay. Now let's continue. Leaders from the business and non-government communities recently launched recently launched Train Tayo Pilipina, an intuitive that unites private sector stakeholders to tackle food insecurity to end malnutrition in the country. Right? The for coalition forming for KTV aims to develop tangible solutions toward zero hunger, one of the sustainable development goals set by the United Nations, and an area where ESG conscious companies can play a role. According to Philippine Business for Social Progress, which serves as the KTP Secretariat, 1 out of 10 Filipino households is considered food insecure, and 26.7% of under 5 Filipinos are stunted. The BPSP is also one of the partner organizations of the Inquiry ESGH Intuitive. If we all help, no one will go hungry, said businessman Manny McGilligan, the KTP and BFSP chair, as he called for wider public participation in the movement. According to Dr. Carlos David, the World Bank's senior country officer for Brunei, Philippines, Malaysia, and Thailand, the Philippine Human Capital Index currently stands at 0.52, meaning that Filipino child born today will only be 52% as productive in their childhood without complete education. Well, got cut off. But anyways, we'll get back. We'll continue. We'll retell again later since apparently I was dropping connections apparently. So yeah. Okay, it is 12 minutes after 7, and we will continue here on koolNews Air Edition. So stick around, guys. We will be right back. All right, people, welcome back to Cool News Early Edition, and now let's continue where I got cut off. What an unfortunate incident. So let's get back to that article that I was reading. We will be doing that again. Okay, so right here it is. All right, I need to connect the video, and there's that. Oops, hold on. Let me connect the WinScribe real quick. Oh, is it on? Oh, it is on. Okay, good, good. Okay. All right, let's continue. Leaders from the business and non-government communities recently launched Kain Tayo Pilipinas, an initiative that unites private sectors, stakeholders to tackle food insecurity and malnutrition in the country. So coalition farming for KTP aims to develop tangible solutions toward zero hunger, one of the sustainable development goals set by the United Nations, and an area where ESG conscious companies can play a role. According to the Philippine Business for Social Progress, which serves as KTP secretariat, one out of 10 Filipino households is considered food insecure, and 26% of under age 5 Filipinos are studied. The BBSP is also getting one of sorry. The BBSP is also one of the partner organizations of the Inquirer ESG Edge into it. If we all help, no one will go hungry, said businessman V. Bagilian, the KTP and BSP chair, as he called for wider public and public participation in the movement. According to Dr. Carissa David, the World Bank Senior Executive Officer for Brunei, Philippines, Malaysia, and Thailand, the Philippine Human Capital Index currently stands at 0.52, meaning that a Filipino child born today will only be 52% as productive in their adulthood with a complete education and full health. The Philippines drops behind its neighbors in terms of health and nutrition indicators, as well as skills and education outcomes, resulting in the cost of $4.4 billion in annual economic growth losses. For social welfare, Secretary Lex Gachillian, chair of the task force, chair of the government's Task Force Zero Hunger, food insecurity and malnutrition should be addressed, starting with the needs and capacities of communities and individuals, rather than solely relying on top-down publicly funded initiatives. Interventions to end hunger and malnutrition will be more effective with the help of the private sector, the cabinet official added. KTP will have three work streams: nutrition, food security, and enablers. The nutrition work stream will adopt a live stage approach targeting direct beneficiaries, especially children ages 0 to 2. The food security work stream will empower families by providing them with better access to healthier and more affordable food options. The enablers work stream will focus on interventions that complement the two others, particularly on sustainability through water sanitation and hygiene, nutrition education, public policy, and governance, and more. BPSP Vice Chair and KDP Board Member Manolito Tayak said Tayo will serve as an informer and backwatcher, policy advocate, resource mobilizer, and recruiter, ensuring the sustainability of initiatives implemented alongside the public sector. And now let's continue our Karina coverage that that they put it out here. Although it's no longer super typhoon, so we're not gonna show that. But yeah, let's continue. The Metropolitan the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority said Metro Manila's existing drainage system could accommodate only 30 millimeters of rainfall an hour. However, during a 10-hour period on Wednesday, 74 millimeter an hour of rainfall was monitored. Give us a second again. Okay. All right. Give it a second. All right. Sorry about that one. I really have to eat. I really want to get the breakfast, so apologies for that one, everyone. Okay. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority said Metro Manila's existing drainage system could accommodate only 30 millimeters of rainfall an hour. However, during a 10-hour period on Wednesday, 34 millimeter an hour of rainfall was monitored. The Metro Manila Council on Wednesday placed the National Capital Region under a state of calamity following the widespread flooding due to heavy rains induced by Typhoon Karina, and the enhanced resort was Monsan or Habagat. Malacanan has also suspended work in government classes and offices and classes and at all levels on Thursday in Metro Manila, Central Luzon, and Calabarzon, as the Weather Bureau expects the severe weather condition to persist for another day. The declaration of a state of emergency will allow the government to use its quick response funds for immediate relief and rescue operations in many of the 16 cities and one municipality that make up the NCR. At the same time, a price freeze for 60 days on basic commodities basic necessities in Metro Manila is now in effect as ordered by the Department of Trade and Industry. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who presided over the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council meeting in Camp Aguinaldo, Quezon City on Wednesday, ordered all the government agencies to focus on critical isolated areas. That's important because there may not have eaten for a few days, he said. The executive The chief executive said government agencies should be ready to bring in aid to these spaces the moment the floods subside and roads become passable. In the post on his X account, formerly Twitter, early in the day, Marcos said the government has 2.88 billion pesos in pre-position aid and 4,500 personnel on standby for search, rescue, and retrieval operations. The president likewise directed government agencies and local government units to give ample prior warning and support to communities before releasing excess water from dams, especially in Luzon. We need to bring enough vehicles to take them to the nearest evacuation centers. They can stay there overnight at least, he said. In the 6 p.m. update, the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration, PAGASA, reported that water level at La Mesa Dam was at 80.60 meters, exceeding the overflow elevation of 80.50 millimeter. Not millimeter, but meters. The decision to place NCR under a state of calamity was reached at around 2:30 p.m. at the emergency meeting of the MMC in Pasig City. The mayors of Malabon, Marikina, Venezuela, Las Piñas, and Paranaque cities were unable to participate as they were busy attending to their flooded constituents. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority said the metropolis existing drainage system could accommodate only 30 millimeters of rainfall an hour. Once again, this is we already read that at the beginning, so let's move on. Mayor John Belmonte of Quezon City reported almost 22,000 evacuees in 154 centers, barangay facilities, covered courts, and churches, adding that 80 of 140 barangays in the city were flooded and 30 major roads were submerged. TGON City Mayor Francis Zamora said 40 of the city's 21 barangays were flooded and some 1,000 people have been evacuated. Navotas Mayor John Reynald Tiangco said 80% of the city was flooded, while Caloocan Mayor Dale Gonzalo Malapitan appealed for manpower and rescue boats. Pasay Mayor Imelda Calixto Rubiano reported continuing mass evacuation in low-lying residential areas such as along the swollen Maricaban Creek. Pasig Mayor Victor Manriquez Soto said 2,000 families were already housed in 19 evacuation centers, while Barrero's Mayor Miguel Ponce III said all 10 barangays in downtown were flooded, appealing for more food packs for the evacuees. The DEDI said the fire sprees covered goods such as rice, corn, bread, fresh vegetables, root crops, pork, beef, poultry, eggs, milk, coffee, sugar, cooking oil, and salt. Also included are laundry soap, detergent, firewood, charcoal, candles, and certain medicines classified as essential by the Department of Health. Under the Price Act, violators face fines ranging from 5,000 pesos to 2 million pesos and periods of time of 1 to 10 years. Power outages also hit more than 430,000 customers of Power Distribution Manila Electric Co., which is Meralco. More than half, or around 250,000 customers in Metro Manila, the company said in an advisory as of 3 p.m. on Wednesday. Some areas covered by Meralco in Batangas, Laguna, and Quezon were also hit by service interruptions. As of 5 p.m. on Wednesday, at least 190 domestic and international flights were canceled at Ninoy Aquino International Airport due to bad weather. Among those canceled were 11 flights to or from Taipei, Taiwan, where Karina is heading. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines reported 88 flight cancellations in various local airports. All operations were suspended at the airports in Vigan, Lingayen, San Fernando, in La Union, and Baguio. Outside the capital region, 8 people were reported dead as the heavy rains caused widespread flooding, triggered landslides, and uprooted trees in the province of Batangas, Bataan, and Pampanga. Okay, give me a second. I need to get. Okay, I have a pen in front of me now. That's really hot here. Anyways, 4 of the fatalities, including a pregnant woman, were from Angoncito town in Batangas. They all died in the landslide at around 9 p.m. on Tuesday. In Nasugbu town, police reported that a 46-year-old vendor died after he was pinned down by an uprooted acacia tree in Barangay Obalagon. Angelo Marin, age of 45, a fisherman of Marin Palace, town in Limbay, Bataan, also died after sustaining serious injuries when his fishing boat was destroyed by giant waves while fishing on Tuesday at the height of the typhoon. Another fisherman in Bataan, Artemio Nabudnak, age of 68, was reported missing. In Angeles, Pampanga, a 24-year-old mother and her 5-year-old daughter died while the 22-year-old father survived a landslide that struck their house along the Abacan River in Pampang village on Wednesday. Oh yeah, we already read that one. Batangas Governor Malino Bandanas, meanwhile, had declared a state of emergency since Tuesday. Data from the Department of Social Welfare and Development showed that there were 45,328 families affected in 225 barangays in Ilos, Cagayan Valley, Central Luzon, Calabarzon, Maropa, Pico Region, Western Visayas, Central Visayas, Administration, Cardilla Administration Region, and Metro Manila. Pagkasa said Karina continued to intensify on Wednesday as it approached Taiwan. It was reclassified into a super typhoon as of 5 p.m., with maximum sustained winds of 185 kilometers per hour near the center and gusts up to 230 kilometers per hour. Pagkasa forecast continued moderate to intense rainfall over the western portion of Luzon through Friday, with the weather expected to improve by the weekend as Karina moves away from the Philippine area of responsibility. Tomorrow, which is Thursday, we're likely to experience weather almost identical to today, Pagkasa warned. The Marikina River, notorious for its flash floods, reached the critical third alarm level with its waters rising to 24 meters by 4:40 p.m. It reached 22 meters in 2020 during Typhoon Ulysses and 21.5 meters during Tropical Storm Ondoy. Yeah, there was that one. Okay, once again, guys, it is time. Once again, guys, if you really need, let me say this again. Once again, I encourage everyone to donate right here as it's shown on the screen right now. So, it, donating to typhoon affected residents will greatly be appreciated. So you can scan the QR code right now in the following organizations that are helping out. So once again, please do your favor in helping out in donating to these fellow organizations, as it will help the affected residents of Super Typhoon Karina. All right, it is now 18 minutes before 8, and hopefully by 8 a.m. I will be good at reporting because this hour has not been good for me since I have been doing my breakfast, and yeah, I was wanted to eat breakfast. I was really hungry. So apologies for that, everyone. All right, now, excuse me. Okay. All right, it is now again 18 minutes before 8, and koolNews Early Edition will be right back. Welcome back to Cool News Early Edition. Okay, so we have 9 minutes before 8 a.m. hour, and now let's continue with the yesterday's headlines that you might have missed. Okay, so let's get back to Inquire now. I will be going to I'm going to move somewhere here so I can do the news while I will while I'm relaxed. Several senators and environmental groups blame the reclamation projects in Manila Bay for causing the massive floods in the Florida capital region and nearby provinces, including the Senate compound's Seaside Street on Wednesday. This, I believe, is the consequence of all the reclamation happening in Manila Bay. Normal outlets for flood waters here in Pansay and Manila, Senator Joan Miko Subiri told reporters. It will always result in flooding every time it rains heavily. This is another disaster, he added. Subiri also sent videos of the floods taken by his staff, including one vehicle showing a vehicle creating waves on the intonated Digog Digno Boulevard in front of the Senate building in Pasay City. The Senate is now coming off like Surigao, he quipped sarcastically, referring to the re-owned serving capital of the Philippines. Senator Joe Villanueva, who also pointed to the reclamation as the culprit in the flooding, criticized the Department of Public Works and Highways for apparently not addressing this perennial problem. It mentioned for the past 2 years, including this year, we have this 1 billion pesos a day flood control budget for DPWH alone. 1 billion pesos a day. Please tell me if anyone here can see at least an improvement in addressing floods, he said. Senator J.B. Josito also said that the reclamation projects could be among the possible causes of the flooding. Is it not because of the reclamation why the said area has been submerged in floodwaters? I think this is the only time it happened, Josito said. Daniela Castro, a advocacy officer of Kalisakan of People's Network for the Environment, said the intense flooding in Metro Manila, Bulacan, Cavite, and Bataan was a direct result of a massive reclamation in Manila Bay. From President Duterte's to Marcos Jr., lie upon lie has been rained upon us on the so-called benefits of reclamation, she said. And now, only 2 days after President Marcos' State of the Nation address, where he proudly committed himself as a climate champion, all his empty promises are literally drowning homes and families around Manila Bay. In his speech, Marcos said there were ongoing disaster preparedness efforts, citing 5,500 flood project assistance, but he was silent on the Manila Bay reclamation. He appealed to Congress to pass a law to confer the legal personality of the Philippines as host of the board of the Lost Development Fund. Total commitments to the fund, which aims to assist developing countries vulnerable to climate change impacts, amounted to over $600 million as of early this year. As floodwaters rose, environmental groups argued that the disaster underscored the urgent need for climate resilient policies and infrastructure. They said reclamation projects also cause widespread and irreversible damage to coastal communities and the marine environment. In August 2023, Marcos ordered the suspension of the 22 Bay reclamation projects. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources then said that it would conduct a thorough review of the reclamation projects to assess their environmental and social impact. In November that year, the DENR announced that its cumulative assessment of reclamation projects could be finished within a year. However, a few days later, they confirmed that 2 reclamation projects were able to pass their compliance review, prompting the Philippine reclamation authorities to approve the project's resumption. These projects were the Pasay 265, a joint venture between Pasay City and Pasay Harbor Corporation, covering 265 hectares, and the 360 hectares Plus Site 360 with SM Smart City Infrastructure and Development Corporation, which will be connected to SM Mall of Asia Complex. In February, the PRA announced plans to potentially proceed with another two reclamation projects in Manila Bay, a 90-hectare project in Bacoor, Cavite, and a 30-hectare project by the Philippine Fisheries Development Authority in Napotas. Greenpeace Philippines campaigner Kevin used the situation called for urgent moves for climate justice. These territories give yet another picture of extreme weather in the climate change world, he said. Filipinos are calling for climate justice. President Marcos must champion policies to help facilitate access to justice for communities. The group's outline of a climate action agenda for the president includes acknowledgement of the climate accountability bill, irrigating carbon measures for climate impact damages, and championing innovative sources of finance for loss and damage. This will likely not be the last or the worst storm we will face this year. Climate impacts will continue to escalate, you said. He said Greenpeace volunteers had visited Barangay Panaba in San Mateo Town, Rizal, one of the provinces that experienced relentless torrential rains on Wednesday, and found flood control structures incomplete and falling apart. It is small communities like Panaba with poor infrastructure that are affected the worst. For their sake, the Marcos administration must prioritize climate action, you said. Bayamuna Chair Nari Colmenares called for the immediate halt to all reclamation activities in Manila Bay. The massive flooding we are witnessing in Metro Manila, particularly in areas like Malabon, Quezon City, Valenzuela, Marikina, Caloocan, and Rizal, where flood waters have reached second floor, is a direct consequence of these reckless reclamation projects, he said. It's clear that these projects are extravagating the vulnerability of our communities to climate-related disasters. Commoners also questioned the effectiveness of the government's flood control efforts in the new Philippines, quote unquote. Is this what President Marcos Jr. was boasting about in his State of the Nation address on Monday, that we have completed so many flood control projects, he said? Senator Rizal de Veros said her office would reach out and provide assistance to those affected by the floods and other emergencies brought about by the typhoon. Senator Robert Badillo said his office had set up hotlines to help those affected by the calamity. Badillo's office is coordinating with the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council and other agencies to respond to calls for help. All right, 1 minute before 8, and we will be getting ready now for an 8 a.m. hour of koolNews Early Edition.
Is koolNews Early Edition.
It is exactly 8 o'clock, and if you have just joined us for the morning headlines to start your day, well, good morning to you all, and welcome to koolNews Early Edition. We'll be here to serve you the headlines that you might have missed from yesterday, and also the latest headlines from today, which we will be here until 9 o'clock in the morning. Alright, so let's continue now with the headlines. The Bureau of Immigration (BI) has given foreign nationals working in Philippine offshore gaming operators, locals, and internet gaming licenses 60 days to leave the country following the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to ban these businesses. Immigration Commissioner Norman Fonseca in a statement on Tuesday said they were expecting around 40,000 foreign workers in the gaming industry to wind down their fares over the next 2 months. He said the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corp. Parker provided his office a list of all the foreigners working in Focus and IGLs. The BI will move to revoke the working visa granted to them and deny pending applications and new applications for visas for foreign POGO and IGL workers, Tansico added. He warned that violators would face deportation, noting that he had instructed the Bureau's Intelligence Division and Fugitive Search Unit to intensify efforts to arrest violators and illegal online gaming hubs. Pagcor Chair Alejandro Tanco said he would consult with Cinco to discuss his 2-month deadline as the president had given these companies up to December 31st to close down. In his third State of the Nation address on Monday, Marcos announced his order to ban all POGOs. Disguising as legitimate entities, their operations have ventured into illicit areas furthest from gaming, such as financial scamming, money laundering, prostitution, human trafficking, kidnapping, brutal torture, even murder, the president said. Fonseca on Tuesday said his agency would coordinate with Pagcor and the Department of Labor and Employment to cancel payments issued to online gaming companies and their foreign employees. The BI chief said he shared the president's view that the social costs of online gaming companies outweigh their benefits. He said the BI had reported more than 2,300 working in scam hubs operating in the disguise of gaming companies. Sherry Conchilan said he was very confident that 5 months were more than enough time to shut down illegal vocals as long as there is political will. And from the message of the president, he is determined to wipe them out, he told the inquiry in the text message. Conchilan clarified that Pogos last year generated only 50 billion pesos, 10 billion pesos to the Bureau of Internal Revenue, and 5 billion pesos to Pagcor. That's less than 0.5% of our country's total revenues. Pogos will disappear and we won't go a thing, he said. Second, it only employs 20,000 Filipinos as compared to the 35,000 foreigners who are mostly Chinese. We have 12 billion peso budget for temporary and cash forward programs, Gachilian added. Senator Rizzo Hontiveros said that the newly enacted Anti-Financial Account Scamming Act will allow the government to seize and use the properties of POCOs or IGLs involved in large-scale scams and human trafficking. Gachilian and Hontiveros have been the most active senators investigating the illegal activities linked to the POCO business. Hontiveros said in a statement that she was pleased that the AFPASA law included her proposed amendments granting authority to the government to take POCO assets and property. Now that the ban on POCOs or IGLs had been announced, several properties can be used and given to the victims of crimes linked to POCO, she said. The AFPASA law, or Republic Act No. 12010, was among the priority bills of the Legislative Executive Development Advisory Council. It was sponsored by Senator Mark Villier in the Senate. It aims to combat the surge of online scamming and mandates financial institutions to implement necessary safeguards to protect the accounts of Filipinos. It also defines and penalizes money laundering activity, a type of money laundering, social engineering schemes, economic sabotage, and other offenses involving financial accounts. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is authorized by the law to probe and inquire into financial accounts that may be involved in prohibited acts. Hontiveros' amendment states that all properties, tools, instruments, and or any other non-liquid assets used in committing financial scams shall be subject to severe forfeiture. The seized assets can be released to the Department of Justice for operational support and victim protection, including victims of human trafficking. The victims, rescued after a raid on the complex, run in the thousands per scam complex, and government lacks the resources and capacity for operations and assistance, Hontiveros said. The release of the seized money needs a court order following a summary hearing and is subject to guidelines. This prevents the whimsical or improvident use of the monies and assets seized, she explained. The Alfasalo and the Poco IGL band are welcome and need to work in tandem, Hontiveros said. The hardships and sufferings of those victimized by Pocos are incomparable, but I hope that through this law, the government can make amends by giving their much deserved reparations, she said. While we celebrate the Poco IGL band, we must continue to ensure that accountability is extracted from predators and justice is fully served for victim survivors. Amid the inclement weather in Metro Manila and outer parts of the archipelago, Vice President Sara Duterte and members of her family left the country for an unannounced trip to Germany early Wednesday. Duterte, accompanied by her husband Mananes Harbio, the children, and her mother, Elizabeth Abellana Zimmerman, boarded the Dubai-bound Emirates flight EK335 that took off from Ninoy Aquino International Airport around 12:30 a.m. From Dubai, the family will take a connecting flight to Munich, Germany, according to an official airport who asked not to be excuse me, who asked not be named for lack of authority to speak on the matter. It was not immediately clear if the vice president left on official business or for a private matter. When asked for details regarding the trip, the office of the vice president have had yet to provide any information as of press time. As news spread of the third trip, dissidents mostly posted comments on social media wondering why she had to leave the country amid a calamity which on Wednesday caused the worst flooding so far this year in Metro Manila and other parts of Luzon. The third staff did issue a press statement in the afternoon, but it was about the relief boxes prepared by the Office of the Vice President for families affected by Typhoon Karina in Metro Manila and the Calabarzon region. The Office of the Vice President awaits the green light from the Office of the Civil Defense to formally begin its relief efforts in various localities in Metro Manila and Calabarzon since the rescue phase is still ongoing in different flooded areas. This statement read. The Food and Drug Administration has added 15 more drugs to the list of essential medicines that are exempted from value-added tax, making these products more affordable. Under FDA Advisory 2024-1063, signed by its Director General, Samuel Langkatit, the regulatory body endorsed the Bureau of Internal Revenue to make 7 drugs for cancer, 5 drugs for hypertension, 2 drugs for mental illness, and 1 drug for high cholesterol exempted from the 4% VAT. For cancer medicines, these are excuse me, these are Alvolumbab, Acalabrutinib, Alaparib, Trastuzumab, and Trastuzumab deruxtecan. Also made VAT exempt were rosuvastatin, used to treat high cholesterol, as well as hypertension medicines mesartan, methoxamil, perindopril, and indapamate plus amlodipine. Also made affordable were sodium valproate and valproic acid, which are used as treatment for epilepsy and bipolar disorder. The FDA, however, moved to remove 9 medicines for hypertension, particularly 3-metazidine and 3-metazidine dihydrochlorate from the VAT exempt list. The approved indication of the drug products for the listing is intended for symptomatic treatment of stable angina pectoris in patients inadequately controlled or intolerant to first-line therapies. The regulator noted in its justification. The listed medicine were in addition to the more than 2,000 drugs indicated for the prevention and management of diabetes, hypertension, cancer, high cholesterol, mental illnesses, tuberculosis, and kidney diseases, which were exempted from VAT under Republic Act number 10963 or the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion or Trade Act and Republic Act 11534 or the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprise Act. Under BIR rules, the effectivity of the VAT exemption will start on July 18 when the FBA made public the updated list. Also, researchable database of all the VAT exempt products can be accessed at verification.fda.gov.ph. All right, guys, it is now 12 minutes past 8, and you will have more headlines coming up right here on koolNews Early Edition. So stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Welcome back to koolNews Early Edition. Let's continue with the headlines. Hunger affected more Filipinos in the last 3 months, with 17.6% of families experiencing involuntary hunger at least once, up from 14.2% in March, according to the social weather stations. The rest of the survey conducted from June 20 to July 1 was the highest since it peaked at 30.7% during the COVID-19 lockdowns in September 30. It's not September 30, but September 2020. Of the 17.6% of Filipino families who experienced involuntary hunger, 12.8% went through moderate hunger and 4.9% cited severe hunger. The SWS defines involuntary hunger as being hungry and not having anything to eat at least once in the past 3 months. Moderate hunger refers to those who went hungry only once or a few times, while severe hunger refers to those who experience it often or always. In the previous survey conducted in March 12.2% went through moderate hunger while 2% experienced severe hunger. Hunger remained highest in Metro Manila with 20% experiencing involuntary hunger, 13.3% moderate hunger, and 6.7% severe hunger. In the Visayas, hunger fell slightly from 50% in March to 13.7% in June, with moderate hunger declining from 30.7% to 10.7%, and severe hunger rising from 1.2% to 3%. In Luzon, outside of Metro Manila, hunger rose from 15.3% to 19.6%. Moderate hunger also went up from 30.1% to 14.5%, while severe hunger jumped from 2.1% to 5.1%. In Mindanao, hunger rose sharply from 8.7% to 15.7%. Moderate hunger increased from 8% to 10.7%, while severe hunger also went up from 0.7% to 5%. The SWS survey, using face-to-face interviews when asked 1,500 adult respondents on whether they had experienced hunger within the last 3 months of the survey taking place, as well as how often these incidents occurred. The survey also had a sampling margin error of plus or minus 2.5% for national percentages, plus or minus 4% for Luzon outside of Metro Manila, and plus or minus 5% each for Metro Manila, the Visayas, and Mindanao. The ranking of the Philippine Passport Health Study at the 73rd spot out of 199 passports according to the 2024 Handling Passport Index, which ranks the world's passports based on the number of countries their holders can access without a prior visa. However, the number of countries Filipinos could travel to without a visa or through visa on arrival access went down to 67 out of 272 possible destinations compared with 69 earlier this year. The Philippines lost access excuse me. The Philippines lost access to Armenia and Dongo since January, both as part of a broad switch from visa on arrival to e-visa, bringing the score from 69 to 67. Scott Moore, managing director of Handley and Partners, which released the report, said during an online briefing on Wednesday. But Moore pointed out that these policies did not affect the country's ranking. From 2015 until now, besides COVID-19, the general trend is up for the Philippines passport ranking. The Philippines is viewed as quite stable right now, and as the Philippine economy continues to grow, it should continue to see improvements on the passport's visa-free access. According to Moore, the report has consistently shown a strong correlation between a country's visa-free score and its economic prosperity. Nations with higher visa scores tend to enjoy greater gross domestic product per capita, increased foreign direct investment, and more robust international trade partnerships, non-partnerships but relationships, he said. The Philippines economy expanded by 5% in the first quarter, outdoing most of its peers in Southeast Asia. Ranked highest on the index was the Singaporean passport, which reclaimed its position as the most powerful with visa-free access to 195 destinations. Next were the passports from France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and Spain, each providing access to 192 destinations. The so-called Talingod 13, led by former lawmaker Sador Ocampo and ACD teachers representative Franz Castro, have given their notice of appeal before the Davao Regional Trial Court that convicted them of child abuse in connection with the 2018 rescue mission for Lumat students and teachers in the southern province. In the five-page submission filed on July 22, Ocampo and Castro notified the Tagum Regional Trial Court Branch 2 that they will appeal its July 3 decision to convict them before the Court of Appeals. Also convicted were Gudenia Velasco, Jesus Mantamo, Mario Coqueta, Concepcion Ibarra, Genevieve Parapa, Nurharia Toledo, Marcel Angkakit, Marcel Rondon, Mariani Aga, Narfa Awing, and Wingwing Sunday. All 13 were sentenced to 4 to 6 years and ordered to pay a fine of 20,000 pesos over supposedly exposing the minors to hazard when they kept the students in their company and transported them on foot in the evening for 3 hours in the dark and without permission from the parents. The 13 joined a solitary mission to Langot in November 2018 in response to reports of the paramilitary group harassing local indigenous communities. The Court of Appeals affirmed the ruling of the National Labor Relations Commission, ordering the biomedical group to pay a former employee 3 million pesos in back wages over her constructive dismissal. In a 35-page decision, the CA Special Court Division agreed with the findings of the NRRC that Marie Angelis Macaducal's unbearable condition and hostile environment left her with no choice but to resign. However, it observed BMG President Victoria Bello of solidary liability and found only the company and Angus Lopez, Chief Executive Officer and General Manager, liable for the employee's dismissal. It can be easily discerned that a series of unfair and hostile acts and charges of the petitioners have made the environment conditions of medical general and intolerable, the CA said in the decision, written by Associate Justice Eduardo Ramos Jr. The conclusion is all too clear that petitioners fostered a working environment that was hostile and inequitable that compelled Makatol to give up her employment, especially in light of the lump of charges against her which were either too trivial or already settled, it added. The petition for certiorari filed by BMG, Bello, and Lopez stem from Matacal's complaints of constructive dismissal, forced resignation, non-payment of salary, service incentive late pay, 31 pay, separation pay, moral and explanatory damages, and attorney's fees. Matacal alleged, among others, that she was subjected by Bello as a guinea pig of BMG's medicine and non-medicine machine that Bello gave conflicting instructions to her and her staff, and that Bello's husband, Harden Keho, who served her authority as marketing management head. The Human Resources Head on June 6, 2019 issued a show cause notice against the employee, charging her with fraudulent acts, willful breach of trust and confidence, disclosure of confidential information, conflict of interest, abuse of authority, and negligence efficiency. McCaddell argued that the notice raised various allegations which were contrived to make it appear that there was a just cause for her termination. She resigned from her post 9 days after, or on June 17, 2019, and filed the constructive dismissal complaint against the petitioners a month later. A Chinese official has urged the Philippines to keep its word after the Department of Foreign Affairs disputed Beijing's claim that Manila had agreed to prior notifications and on-site inspections of rotation and resupply missions to Filipino troops in Ayungin Secretarial Shoal. We take note that the Philippine side said it's ready to implement the arrangement it reached with China. We hope the Philippines will keep its word, Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson Mao Ning said on Tuesday. We call on the Philippines not to backpedal, not to create problems, and not to do anything that would complicate the situation, Mao said. The temporary arrangement was reached after a series of discussions between officials from both sides during the ninth bilateral consultation mechanism on the South China Sea held in Manila earlier this month. It was meant to de-escalate tensions in the South China Sea, particularly in Ayungin where Chinese Coast Guard ships have been repeatedly harassing Ayungin-bound Philippine vessels conducting RORA missions. The DFA announced the agreement on Sunday, but in a complaint that the Chinese MFA represented the agreement. No copy of the agreement has been released. Amid conflicting statements from both sides, retired Supreme Court Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio suggested the minutes of the bilateral meetings on the temporary arrangement be released. The minutes of the meeting, signed by China and the Philippines, should explain what was the agreement. The DFA should disclose the wording of the minutes, Carpio told the Inquirer on Tuesday. Any agreement, temporary or permanent, should not violate the Philippine Constitution or about the 2016 Imperial Award, he said. All major roads in Antipolo City, Rizal, are now passable except for the outer lanes of Marcos Highway, according to City Mayor Joe Adong Guaynares. As of 5:30 a.m. today, lahat ng major roads natin sa Antipolo ay passable na maliban sa outer lanes, both directions ng Marcos Highway sa may labas ng Vermont Park, go invest at SM Masinok dahil sa tubig baha. Mayor Rihanna said in the Facebook post on Thursday. She reminded her constituents to call the city's 24/7 emergency operation center in case of an emergency. So here are the hotlines for Antipolo hotlines, huh? Wait, Antipolo hotline is 0917-854-0842, 0927-755-9911, 8696-9911, 8689-4576, 8689-4564. For Antipolo OPSS, it's 8734-2470. And for Antipolo Police, it's 8697-2409, 0917-157-7627. The Marikina River is now at first alarm, Marikina City's Public Evolution Office, Marikina PIO, announced on Thursday morning. As of 5 a.m., the water level at the river is 15.8 meters, down from 16.8 meters at 2 a.m. Okay, let's check if I have a brand new headlines. Let me just double check. We do have a brand new headline, so let's get into that right now. Over 300 passengers were stranded in various ports in Luzon on Thursday morning amid heavy rain and flooding due to Typhoon Karina and the southwest monsoon or Habagat, the Philippine Coast Guard said. Based on PCG's advisory, 354 passengers, truck drivers, and cargo helpers were monitor in southern Tagalog and Bicol region ports from 12 midnight until 4 a.m. The PCG monitored 354 passengers, truck drivers, and cargo helpers, 12 vessels, 5 motor blancas, and 69 rolling cargoes stranded, while 7 vessels and 30 motor blancas are taking shelter in southern Tagalog and Bicol regions due to Garina, the PCG reported. Of the 354 passengers, 158 were stranded in southern Tagalog ports, which are San Jose, Quebec, San Andres, Rompolon, Calatrava, Kaji, TGON, and Real, while 196 were in Bicol ports, Pasacao, Aroroy, Masbate City, Mobo, San Jacinto, San Pascal, Kawayan, Bulan. The expanded number coding scheme is suspended on Thursday, according to the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority. The announcement was made following Malacanang's suspension of government work and classes at all levels in Metro Manila, Calabarzon, and Central Luzon, the MMDA said in a Facebook post on Wednesday. Suspendido pa rin ang pagpapatupad ng expanded Unified Particular Volume Reduction Program sa July 25, Webes, kasunod ng anunsyo ng Malacanan na walang pasok sa mga sanggay ng pamahalaan at lahat ng angkas ng paaralan sa Metro Manila, Region 3 at Region 4A dahil sa patuloy na pagkulan ng dulot ng Bagyong Karina PH at Southwest Bansa, the Post read. The MMDA also reminded motorists to refrain from unnecessary trouble and to take extra precaution. Okay, yeah, that's just it's there again. All right. Save or headlines. Okay, we do. But I think I already covered this one, right? But just to make sure. No. Okay. All right. The offices of House Speaker Martin Romeo Altes and Enoch Pardiles launched relief operations for residents of American City affected by monsoon rains and flooding. In a statement released on Thursday, both officers said 20,000 relief food packs containing 3 kilograms of rice and canned goods have been have been prepared for distribution. Some 1,600 residents received hot meals and drinking water at Mandanday Elementary School in Marikina, which came from Romeo Altes Disaster Relief Funds. We are currently doing delivery in different areas in Metro Manila, particularly in Quezon City, Manila, and Marikina. We are sourcing out also food packs directly from the source like grocery stores near the affected areas to cut delivery time and for quicker response to the needs of the affected communities, House Deputy Secretary General Symphonias Gamponada said. For her part, Tigno Portuguese Representative Yeda Romualdez said the operations are designed to complement the initiatives undertaken by the national government. The focus is on addressing both immediate needs and long-term recovery, with particular attention given to vulnerable populations who have been affected by the heavy rains and flooding, she said. Oh, I'm so sorry. 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 I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, okay, I'm so sorry. All right, all right, guys. All right, all right, guys. And it's now 21 minutes before 9, and as we'll be getting ready for entertainment and tech news now, if there's available. If not, we will continue covering the Karina coverage as we care about the listeners and viewers. Okay, all right, guys. So again, time check. It's 21 minutes before 9, and koolNews Early Edition will be right back. All right, welcome back to Cool News Early Edition. All right, so 14 minutes before we leave here to Music Zone, and it's before 9 o'clock. So now let's check if we have any updates on the check if we have any updates so far with the weather. So far so good in Kentucky because the weather is bright again. So yes, it's going back to normal now. So yes, as expected, the Karina has officially exited the Philippine area on responsibility. So Super Typhoon Karina exited the Philippine area of responsibility Thursday morning, according to the Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration. Pagkasa weather specialist Samuel Duran told in court that the typhoon left Philippine area of responsibility at 6:40 a.m. So great news. The typhoon is gone. Is gone now, at least here in the Philippines. But the rainfall is far from over, as Pagasa has expected that the rainfalls will continue in some parts of Luzon. So keep that in mind. All right, now let's get into entertainment news. Now, let me check if we have entertainment news. K-pop label outdoor CEO Min Jin denied allegations that she stole some of the bandmates' who would farm blue jeans from Source Music. On Tuesday, local entertainment media outlet Dispatch reported that Min Ji, Annie, Delnir, and Heron of blue jeans for Source Music were there being trained to become K-pop artists. According to the report, these four of the five-member group were part of the project group being called N-Team Training under Source Music. Dispatch unveiled a dance practice clip of the team from March 2021 that included 7 Source Music trainees. They are seen rehearsing to New Jeans' debut single, Attention. The report claims that Min, then the chief business officer at Source Music in charge of running the N-Team, delayed the debut of the trainees as she sought to extend her role and responsibilities for her debut. It also claims that Min was busy in the spring of 2021, allegedly getting advice from a shaman on establishing her label and planning to steal a girl group from Source Music. Min told local reporters on Tuesday that such allegations are false and that she plans to take legal action. She added that she is working on an official statement refuting the allegations. Actor Mark Anthony Fernandez is currently trending on social media after the circulation of his alleged sex video scandal. As of this writing, the actor is part of the Philippine trending on X with 115,000 posts. The hashtag also includes other sensitive and sensual videos. According to some of the posts, the footage shows a naked man with a striking resemblance to Fernandez. In the clip, he was joined by an unknown woman, leading to a sexual encounter. As of this moment, Fernandez himself or his management have not yet issued a statement regarding the viral video. Meanwhile, the former Gilbert Banks actor currently stars in the Viva Max movie Package Deal. He recently revealed in a press conference that he tried to court his leading lady, Marin Saint, but got turned down. Kay Marin, tinabatlan ako. Crush ko sila. Binasted nila ako. Kay binasted nila ako tuwing nasa set kami, nakalimutan lahat yun. Ang naisip namin, yung mga eksena namin, i-share. Fernandez also revealed that there were make times that he wished they could make their love scenes droop to life. One time, sobrang nagkagustuhan kami ng co-actress ko. Sabi ko, totohanin na kaya natin ito. Sabi ko kay Derek, gawin na kaya natin. Siyempre, nagkakay ka may non subconscious. Sabi ni Derek, huwag. Aktingkan lang ito. Pagka magalit ang mga boss natin. Given the chance, nung panahon na yon, game na ako. Patawid na ako sa... He said before going on to add that he was just joking. Fernandez, son of actress political Alma Moreno and the late action star Rudy Fernandez, was previously married to Melissa Garcia before the separation in 2014. They shared one son together. And we have some unfortunate and sad news regarding the legend John Mayall. So John Mayall, the British blues pioneer, whose 1960s music collective the Blues Breakers helped usher in the fertile period of rock and brought guitarists like Eric Clapton to prominence, has died at age of 90. His family said Tuesday, July 23. Mayall, a singer and multi-instrumentalist who was dubbed the godfather of British blues, and whose obituary arrangement saw some of the goods in the genre honed to a craft with him and his band, passed away peacefully in his California home on Monday, according to a statement posted on his Facebook page. It did not state a cause of death. Health issues that forced John to end his epic touring career had finally led to peace for one of this world's greatest road warriors, it said. John Mayall gave us 90 years of tireless efforts to educate, inspire, and entertain. So let's do so here's the timeline of Mayall. So Mayall's influence on 1960s rock and beyond is enormous. Members of the Blue Breakers eventually went on to join or form groups including Cream, Fleetwood Mac, The Rolling Stone, and many more. At age 30, Mayall moved to London from northern England in 1963. Sensing revolution in the air, he gave up his profession as a graphic designer to embrace a career in blues, the musical style born in Black America. He teamed up with a series of young guitarists including Clapton, Peter Green, leader of Fleetwood Mac, and Mick Taylor, who helped him form the Rolling Stones. In the Blues Breakers debut team in 1966, Blues Breakers with Eric Clapton, John Mayall, and trial music of the on those with a metaling of soulful rock and ghostly guitar-driven American blues, featuring covers of tunes by Robert Johnson, Otis Rush, and Ray Curtis. The blues music he was playing in British venues was a novelty for White England. He toured AFP in 1997. The blues that album was a hit, catapulting Clapton to stardom and bringing a wave of popularity to a more raw and personal blues music. Mayall moved to California in 1968 and toured America extensively in 1972. He recorded a number of landmark albums in the 1960s, including Crusade, A Hard Road, and Blues from Coral Canyon. The Dawson's Born followed in the 1970s, and up to his latest, The Sun is Shining Down in 2022. Mayall was awarded an OBE, an Officer of the Order of the British Empire, in 2005. Excuse me. Ian Medina and husband Rodjun Cruz welcomed their second child after she gave birth to her daughter, Maria Elizabeth Medina Ilustre, amid birth complications. Medina took to her Instagram page on Tuesday, July 28, to share her glimpse of her daughter's face, saying she managed to have a safe delivery despite having experienced many health snacks leading to her daughter's birth. My answer prayer. My baby Maria Isabel Elizabeth Medina Illustre. Thank you, Lord, for everything. I had the FF during my pregnancy, gestational hypertension, gestational diabetes, cardiac arrhythmia, polyhydramnios, she wrote. The actress TV host also thanked her doctors and those who extended their prayers. Thank you, Lord. No complications or anything. All glory and honors is yours, Almighty Prayer. Thank you for answering my prayers. Salamat rin po sa mga nagdasal, she wrote. Thank you to my supermate, mga alaga, and mga papagaling na. Thank you, Lord. I'm a doctor, sorry, but thank you, Lord. Okay. Meanwhile, Cruz said that their second child is the best gift she and Medina received from God in separate posts. The best na regalo ang binigay sa atin ni Lord na yon. Grabe, ang ating second baby, our princess. So proud of you, boy, ang papang mo. So, nasaksihan ko kanina mas lalo pang tumindi ang pagmamahal ko sa'yo. Saludo ako sa'yo. I love you so much. The couple received well wishes from their followers and celebrities in the comments, including Carla Abelna, Connie Reyes, Aaron Villaflor, Jack Roberto, Mark Harras, Rocco Nancino, Maxine Medina, Chris Bernal, Carrie Pindina, Yasmin Purdy, and Joe Berry. And that is it for Cool News Early Edition. As always, you'll be if you have joined here all the way to the end, we really appreciate you for having by on starting your day with us in the morning headlines, especially with the weather, with the current weather situation. So again, thank you so much for your continued support. And we will be back with more headlines later with Cool News at 11, Cool News at noon, Cool News at 4, 6, and 9 with Cool News Prime Time. Until then, I am Cairo aka Asper. I hope you have a very good morning. Stay safe, evacuate if needed, and take care. And we will see you later for more headlines at 11 a.m. Good morning again, and goodbye for now. Stay safe and take care.